one thing I really feel like that we have in this country, which is kind of, in my opinion, is a real problem, even though I don't want to be the guy that excludes people, but it's like, it's always, the majority of people always are easy. You think that the majority of people are like the worst people to talk to, like me and you're going to have an argument. You don't understand anything I say. I don't understand anything you say, but it's really not like that. It's really the smallest minorities of people, like not minority, but I mean like the smallest percentage. Ideas or the small ideas that people have that are the loudest. Like, for instance, say somebody's kid does die from vaccination. Say it's 1 million kids get vaccinated, just in theory, and 1,000 of them die from being vaccinated. That really small portion has the loudest voice. And yes, we should listen to what they say and look at some of the things that they say, because we don't want 1,000 kids dying. But at the same time,
well, they die in getting shot at school too.
Right. So yeah. Well, and it's like I said, at the same
and that's keeps happening for 20 plus years. So right, I mean, we got to do something about one of them. We have like the issue that I think a lot of people have is that when we have conversations like this, and we go back and forth about the vaccinations, the medications, the mental illness, and the guns, and then at the end of the conversation, we really never find a resolution. We just kind of go back and forth. You're wrong. I'm right. I'm right.
I feel like
wrong.
there is no right or wrong. No, there's it's all middle. It ain't going to be, the solution isn't take away the guns, and the solution isn't everybody should have a gun. The solution is always going to be more complicated than that. We can do a little bit on that side. We can do a little bit on this side. And then we have to kind of come to an understanding. I just feel like a lot of people think it's black and white, and it's just not black and white.
I know. I'm actually trying to.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general.
I'm trying to actually give you this is what I'm doing. The reason I'm bringing up all of these things at once is because, in a sense, I do agree with you that there seems to be an overload of medications, vaccinations, what's going on in entertainment, what's going on our phones, the food, everything. I think it all plays a role in why all of the things that are happening. I don't think just one thing plays a role. I think it all does, and that's how you end up with these mostly young men, and by number, in large, mostly young white men who show up and shoot up a bunch of different places. And not all of them are white supremacists. Some of them are also known as incels, and these are boys who can't get a girlfriend, can't get laid, and they get angry, and they start killing people. Specifically, they go after the person that spurned their advances, and then they just kill everybody else around them. But this is what's going on, and I think all of those things play a role. Now, there's one major component that's certainly getting a lot of people riled up, and I know you're going to disagree with me on this, but I do feel like when someone sits in a giant rally and tells people to do things that are violent, to act a certain way, to tell them that they should be angry, that also plays a major role. And of course, yes, I'm talking about your favorite guy, Donald J. Trump.
How's he got to be my favorite guy? He's my president. He's not my favorite guy. Look, I'm my favorite guy, man.
Okay. All right. But you do like him, right?
Yeah. I fuck with Trump. I mean, I don't see what's not to like.
I fuck with Trump. That's a good, actually, you should probably make that as a t-shirt. Have you ever been to any of his rallies? He goes to Florida a lot. He certainly golfs there quite frequently.
And I didn't vote either in the last election, and I might not even vote in this one.
So you just support him
I support publicly. The country doing really good, and I support the shit he's doing for black people, and I support being able to have more money in my pocket, and I support the fact that we actually have somebody who, for once, this is the thing. I believe in balance, and like I've already kind of said, I believe in different sides kind of meeting in the middle. And to me, even though he's still pretty, I mean, some of his policies, I mean, he's already, people don't realize this. They talk about immigration a lot with Trump. Ratio wise, Obama's deported way more people than Trump, ratio wise, not just because he's been in the ratio wise, like per month.
So you don't think Trump is racist?
How? I mean, he's done more shit.
I don't think he's racist?
No, not at all. He's done more stuff for black people than, first act, the Prison Reform Act, that's affected 90% of black people. I mean, he's given money to black colleges.
But was that like him and Kanye that helped push that?
No, they supported it. That was not him and Kanye that supported it.
Well, I mean,
Kanye
Trump likes to be connected to celebrities, so it kind of worked out for him.
I mean, if people want to say that it worked out for him because it's helping out black people, I mean, I guess.
I'm not saying it because it helped out black people. I'm saying it helped out Trump because he likes to be connected to celebrities. He actually hates any celebrity that doesn't agree with him and doesn't like him. But if they like him, he loves them. And so Kim and Kanye, they're super league famous.
I can tell you right now, I can assure you that Kim and Kanye did not write prison reform.
No, of course not. Absolutely not.
They supported it, and and it's something good to support, and it's something that's positive. Period. No
right, and
what,
on one side, you know, as you say, the sides, the liberal, the conservative, I guess that's the sides we're discussing when we say that. You know, on the liberal side, they're like, yay Kanye, yay Kim, and on the conservative side, they're saying, you know, yay to Trump. Now, you say you don't pick a side, right?
I mean, I do pick a side, but I pick, on different issues, I pick a side that makes sense to me. Like, and that's why I also, right, exactly. It depends on what it is and what it is. Like, I go with whatever makes sense and sounds moral to me. So it just so happened that a lot of things that I agree with, he agrees with. So I'm going to fuck with him. You know what I mean? I mean, like my big things on who I wanted to win that election between him and Hillary was here's my big thing. This is my thinking through it is I had, was it 3 issues or 2 issues? I think it was I feel like I'm missing a third one. I just can't remember what it was.
Let me ask you a question about him, because this is important, and you can circle back around because we're going to talk about him for a minute here. The thing when you say that he's not racist, or you don't think he's racist, now, these are not stories that were manufactured, you know, when he started to run for president. These are things that are in, like, historical newspapers. They're there. They happened. Him, his father had major lawsuits because they were treating black tenants differently. They were trying to make sure they could keep black people out of their buildings. They were
Yeah, I read that before. Okay.
Right. So do you think now he was known, especially his father, mostly his father, but he was known for having issues with the poor and the black community in New York. So do you think that somehow over the last 5 decades, he's changed? Is that why you think he's not racist?
I definitely don't think that makes you racist. Do I think that can be an indication of you being racist? Yes, 100,000%. In his case, I don't think he's racist. I mean, he's like you literally said, he's been a lot.
He didn't help people. Like, he was hurting people. They weren't able to have a place to live. They were being mistreated in a way they didn't even deserve. It's not like they were just, bad people. It was specific to the black community. But you don't think that that's racist?
I definitely think it can be an indicator. I don't think one thing, first of all, calling somebody a racist is a huge, that's literally devastating and life-changing. One indication of something that could be racist does not make you racist. You have to look at the whole body of work. If that's the one thing,
it's not the one thing. It's just I'm going way back before
Park 5, which even still that Central Park 5 shit. I mean, that was a pretty heinous crime that happened. I mean, it is what it is. And he thought, if you thought somebody, it happens all the time where people think people are guilty of something and they're just not. So, I mean, if those are
he was being manipulated by the police and the media. He like everybody else.
Well, but all I'm saying is if those are the only 2 things that we can get, and the man's he's got to be almost 70, right? He's probably 60.
He's in his 70s.
He's in his 70s? If that's the only 2 things we can get, and then he's in office, he's literally doing great stuff for black people, literally lowest unemployment, money to black college.
That started before he got here, the unemployment. That started those things take time. It's like a snowball going down a mountain. So what you're seeing now started from things that were implemented before he took office. It just happens to flourish now. It's just like
it's definitely not the case, because Obama could have put, for instance, pardoning multiple people. Obama could have done that. And
I'm just talking about the unemployment. That's all I'm talking about, the unemployment. Because just like you said that you're raising someone's child as your own, but you didn't have anything to do with the creation of that child, Donald Trump is here, and yes, he is in office when the unemployment has dipped, but he had nothing to do with why that started.
But it's weird because people are saying that, but it's a lot of people don't realize that Obama, when they asked Obama, literally Obama, everybody's like person that they put on a pedestal. And I would have voted for Obama his first term anyways. But
so do you not like Obama? I mean, the way you're saying that.
So I fuck with him as a person. He seems like a cool dude, but he didn't do shit for black people, and all he did was divide people So I don't like that. But what I want to say is, it's funny that you say that Trump didn't bring jobs in, when literally they asked Obama about the job crisis.
I didn't say he didn't bring jobs in. I just said that
you said it wasn't because
the growth.
It flourished when he was in office. When they literally asked Obama about what Trump was saying about jobs before he got elected, and you can literally look this up, and Obama laughed and said, Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. What is he going to do? Just wave a magic wand and bring jobs back? And literally, Trump brought jobs back, and now people are saying, well, it wasn't him that did it, it was Obama. Just doesn't really,
well, you have
if
to
you look at everything he does.
Like, you're quoting Obama, and that's fine. I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But there is a lot of logistics that play a role in the unemployment listings and why things, for instance, even let's give Donald Trump all of the credit, right? Let's just give him that, right? One of the reasons why you don't hear about how much unemployment there actually is because people stopped receiving unemployment. That's how they get the margin.
I've heard that
okay.
times.
A lot of people are employed, but they have to have 2 or 3 part-time jobs because a lot of these corporations are being extremely corrupt, and they're making it so people cannot work full-time jobs and cannot basically not even take care of their family or pay their rent. So there's a lot of factors that play a role, and it's not just like, everything's like that, great.
Though. I mean, it's still.
But you're making it sound like everything is so wonderful under Trump, and he's done so much for black people.
I'm saying things are better for black people than it's ever been, like in probably like 50 years.
Really? You really believe that?
Yes, I 10,000% believe that for sure. I got more money in my bank account.
So what you have is a reflection of what everybody else probably has in your mind.
What else am I supposed to go off of? I should go off me and the people around me, right? I mean, and the stats that I look at from the government, I mean, if I'm looking at stats and I'm going off, this is the thing, if I'm looking at multiple different things, stock market, unemployment rates, how much people are getting paid, how black people are doing in particular. If I'm looking at all these different things and I see growth in all of that on top of my growth,
right.
What else am I supposed to look at? Like I don't get it. So I'm supposed to look deeper and then just try to look past all the good that's there and try to find the negatives and point the negatives out.
Well, let me help you with that because
but I get that it's not perfect.
No. Let me see if this. Tell me if this makes sense to you. So on one side, people say, all these angry white men that support Trump, they say these things, and white people, not just men, women too. I've seen tons. You've seen them too. The videos where they're like screaming at the camera and they have the Trump hat on and they're at the rally and they, of course they're worked up. So of course they get caught at the right moment to say these things, but they're saying, get rid of them, send them home, lock them up. All these things we've heard a million times. So I'm not going to waste time on that. But then we go into why they feel that way. And they say because they can't find work, or the illegals stole their job, or they don't have any health care, or whatever's going on that's making them angry, right? So we're going to give them some validation in that. They have a reason why they're angry, and it's not just race. So let's go on the other side. You see people all the time. You say it. You argue with them in your own chat on your stream that are black or white or Hispanic, gay or straight. And they're like, no, I hate Trump. The world is worse with him. My life is like this and it's like that. And you're like, yeah, but it's not. We have to give them validation too. On both sides, people are suffering. And unfortunately, the people who are not feeling that are the ones who don't seem to empathize enough. And so
I don't believe in empathy like that, to be honest. I mean, I really feel like empathy is not a good trait to have. I really do, because empathy literally takes you out of actually seeing what is going on. Like, I don't have to empathize for you to want you to do good. Like, I can actually help you. Like, it goes beyond just being empathetic to people. Everybody can't be included. Like, it's no matter what anyone says and how much people are going to say they hate Trump, you literally can't make everyone happy. When Obama was in office, it's so weird because it was literally the same exact way. Just people just don't realize it. Half people didn't fuck with Obama and half people did. It's the same way now. There's no difference.
No,
it's just
there's
different.
more people
just your person's not in the office. That's all it is.
No, it's not that. There are families being separated. There are children being locked in cages.
Families are being
they're still doing it. They're
the
putting
families
children,
were being separated when Obama was in office. You do
yes,
realize
they
that,
were.
right?
It's at a
And I don't get
much
it.
larger scale now.
No, it's not.
Oh, but
Trump
it
has
is, and
deported
they
less
didn't. Yes, and
immigrants.